And our next speaker, Gatare Libère, and he is in East Africa. Unfortunately, couldn't get a visa, but he will be joining us via video. Gatare is a software engineer at Solio, which is a website agency. So they build web apps and websites for their clients. He's also a GDG Bujumbura lead, which I had to Google to find out. He leads a tech meetup in Africa. He is a great developer and builds mobile and web apps for the East African market, and he's very passionate about the open source community. And so with that, we're going to watch Gatare's talk.
Hello everyone, my name is Gatare Libère. I'm a software engineer at Sewilio, a company based in Burundi by young developers working and helping our clientele in the region, providing them with mobile, web, cloud, and security services. I want to start off by thanking Caitlin's, that is Caitlin B and Caitlin C, for trying your best to get me to LA despite some challenges. Thank you so much to Linda and your marketing team for always providing us with the support needed for events, conferences we've been doing across the region. Thank you so much. Now, my talk is about the state of Gatsby in East Africa. I'll show you how I came to find out about Gatsby and introduce my friends and colleagues and started speaking at events about Gatsby. Now, starting out with how did I come to find out about Gatsby? It was right after Hacktoberfest. Just got the t-shirt and I was like, okay, it's time to get more swag, right? I started swag hunting and then I found out that Gatsby was giving out some swag for contributors if your PR gets merged. So I said, okay, let's give it a try. Let me check first, what is Gatsby and what's the easiest way to, get to know, to have an overview of a technology is to get to listen to a podcast. So I love podcasts. I'm a big fan of Syntax FM by Wes Boss and Scott Olinsky. I listened, compare Gatsby and Next.js, and I said, okay, Gatsby is worth a try. And I started reading documentation. I did a small project with it, and I said, okay, let's get it rolling. My PR got merged. I got some swag, yes, and I said, okay, let me check out the whole site, and I found out there's the community page, right? Yeah, so I started reading. I found out you can speak about Gatsby, spread the word, and I said, okay, let me do this because this is some cool stuff. This is some hot stuff here, right? So I went out. I was still in uni. There was this group called DSC Kabarak. By then it was led by Phil, Teams, and other people. That's when I started talking about Gatsby. I started this movement called Future of Web. Yeah, and then I started talking about Gatsby in a city called Nakuru, Kenya, and then moved to Nairobi, spoke about Gatsby at Nairobi Dev Fest, where I met cool guys, really cool and awesome guys. There was this GDE, like Google Developer Expert, Geisa. Shout out that guy. He's a really awesome guy. I gave him Gatsby stickers and he was really happy. I gave out to even attendees. There were really many people. And as time went by is when I started getting feedback from students, entrepreneurs, those who attended the talks and listened. And they were like, we've started using Gatsby. I have this question, this and this. Can you help me out here? And I was like, wow, this is cool. Let me help out. I help them out. And then you find they have actually started integrating everything. Okay, like migrating all their sites to Gatsby because, blazing fast, right? students, they call me, okay, I have this error, I'm doing this and this, and I'm like, what are you trying to do? I'm trying to build, my own portfolio with Gatsby, and say, wow, that's some really cool stuff. Yeah. That was in Kenya. After Kenya, I got there was this call for speakers for Deaf Fest Dar es Salaam, that is in Tanzania. By the way, yeah, East Africa has 5 countries. Sorry for not mentioning that earlier. There is Tanzania, there is Kenya, there is Burundi, Rwanda, and Uganda, and some soon joining. I think South Sudan is about to join. Yeah. So when I got that call for speakers, I applied for that Deaf Fest Dar es Salaam, and it got approved. Then I went there, spoke about Gatsby. As I was speaking, I saw the excitement. It was palpable. The excitement from the attendees. Some of them, they were like, they're agreeing. Well, as you talk, they're nodding their heads. You're like, okay, I get, you understand this, yes, but can you wait until the end of the talk? So when I was talking with people, is when I found out that these guys were actually had already started using Gatsby, and were happy that at least someone is speaking about this. Because we are not used to getting these new technologies spoken about during events. You know, it's rare. Yeah, so that's when they started telling me, showing me what they were building, and asking me for a way forward. And then, lucky enough, for some of them that were starting out, we had the Gatsby themes. So I directed them there. And others, they had, we had these Jamstack themes, the site where they got, Gatsby themes and, built on top of them and, get rolling, Yeah, it was really awesome. I got to meet with some awesome, there's this awesome lady called Raffia. She's a freelancer web developer, really hardworking. She has been building sites for clients, for many clients, with Gatsby purely, and I was impressed. Up to now, she was sending me just the other day, showing me things she was doing for a client and how easy it is, using Gatsby as opposed to other technologies she was accustomed to. Yeah, it's some cool stuff, and the dedication, from the way Gatsby keeps releasing these new products, so to say. Yeah, it's making the community happy. Thank you so much for the whole team, the engineering team, the learning team. Thank you so much for the work you're doing, and helping out with the documentation, making it easier. I think Gatsby has the best documentation so far. Yeah, and that was Tanzania. And then I moved to Bujumbura because I had applied for GDG chapter for Bujumbura because it's my home. It's my hometown, and I was told, I got feedback that our chapter was approved, and so we had to come up with the meetups and events. Yeah, and that's when even the recent event we did, I featured Gatsby. I talked about Gatsby, gave out stickers. Thank you so much, Linda, again. They were really happy. And, there's something about swag that resonates with developers across the world. I would even appreciate if we had some new swag like stickers like for Gatsby Cloud, Yeah. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the adoption from the Ugandan market. So Uganda, I had 2 weeks vacation when I was in Kampala, and I talked with these engineers. They work with a company called Andela. We were planning that one day I'll come and give a talk about the future of web. And they were like, "What are you going to feature?" And I told them Gatsby, and they were like, "Man, that's so cool." Yeah, they know these are the technologies, this is the technology of the day, and it's only getting better. And, as long as, you have the support from the communities, and, you know that your repo is getting worked on on a daily basis. I can attest to that because I'm a maintainer for Gatsby FR, the French version. Yeah, I'm glad to be a maintainer. Thank you so much for adding me. Thank you so much. Yeah, as we were talking, and he told me, next time you come here, make sure we plan ahead of time. Yeah, that's what we've been doing. Now I'll be going there in course of I think it's in March. Yeah, in March to talk about Gatsby. Same to Rwanda. Shout out to Emery, software engineer at Andela, Kigali. Yeah, he's also a fan of Gatsby. He's been playing with it, trying to see where to use it. If need arises, you can help out clients and stuff, right? Yeah, I'll go ahead and mention that in the future, we are looking forward to, bettering the outreach because as opposed to the Western culture, for the Western world, there is this developers, they are more into podcasts, they are more into, these, you get news not from communities, they get them from podcasts. But in Africa, there's this rise of number of developers. You can check out the statistics for mostly for Nigeria, Kenya, and Rwanda. There's this high attendance of developers in events. You look at GDG organized in Lagos, you have thousands of developers, young devs who are building cool stuff, making apps, bettering the web. We have Kenya, the likes of Maya Edwin, with this move of PWAs. These are people moving the web, Yeah, so those are the communities because all students from day one, at the time they join university, they're introduced to these communities. We have GDGs, we have DSCs, we have Facebook developer circles, we have even Truecaller developers. We have, it's just a lot. And now we even have Jamstack Nairobi. Yeah, shout out to Wayne, Eugene, and Tess for starting out, Jamstack Nairobi. Shout out to also the Jamstack community team in Lagos. Yeah, and thank you so much to Obina for attending Jamstack Nairobi. Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope to meet y'all next time. I hope to even I'm looking forward to a time when we will be having Gatsby Days in Africa. We will be having Gatsby Days in Nairobi, Gatsby Days Lagos, Gatsby Days Burundi. You're all welcome.